questions for Sharon?
Why are you here today?
Figured that would be the first question. Yeah. It was not an easy decision at all. It wasn't something that I made lightly. It wasn't something that took me, a couple hours to decide. It was a long process and a long decision. Talked to a lot of family, friends, and everybody, but, I've been very blessed with the past 4 years here, just to be here at this time with the people that are in this circle. And that's been such a big blessing from the Lord. I'm so thankful to be able to have been here during this time, but also very excited for what's coming next, and just made the best decision for me at this time.
What's coming next?
Nursing school at some point. Been doing prerequisites for that, and yeah, excited for that.
So you're done at Iowa? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Are you staying in school here? Or are you gonna?
I'll finish out the semester, obviously, and then probably won't be doing nursing school here. Most likely somewhere else for an accelerated program that I can do in about a year.
When did your teammates know?
Um,
When did you let them know?
just 2 days ago was when I kind of came to my final consensus and let the team know. They were all very supportive, and I couldn't have expected or asked for a better response from them.
Are you going to the portal?
No, I am not.
What do you think of Sunday?
I am excited for it, and I wasn't the beginning of the year I wasn't expecting for this to be my senior night, but now I'm excited for it, and I think it will just be such a beautiful night to honor the people that are leaving now and to honor what has happened here the past 4 years. It's been incredible.
How have these 4 years impacted your life? What are you different? A different kind of person?
That's a big question. I had a very big life event happen right before I came here. So to think of the growth that has happened the past 4 years is humbling and, thankful for all the people that have been around me. I've seen a lot of growth in myself. The Lord has been very faithful in me for 4 years, and like I said, to have the community around me that I did during that time and in that transition when my family couldn't be as close to me anymore, has meant the world.
Talked about the adversity that happened before and even during your Iowa career. I mean, how have you kind of been able to grow from that? How were you able to kind of overcome that adversity to get to a point now where you're happy and just kind of everything else like that?
That's all my faith. Like I said, God has been so faithful, and He is really. I write audience at 1 on my hand for every game. And it's kind of based off it for my mom too. But He is the sole reason that I'm here today. He is. Every breath that I breathe is from Him and His grace. And, with all of the hardships that I face, that when my mom passed away, to an ACL injury, to just the mental battles that everybody on this team has faced playing basketball, He is my sole source of sustain. He is what sustains me. He is my every breath, like I said.
What do you think you'll miss most?
Gosh. And that's a lot of things. I think this circle, we preach it all the time, but just the circle that we have and the relationships that we've built because of the highs and lows that we've experienced. You don't get strong relationships or good team chemistry from, an easy walk to the Final Four. It comes from the battles and the losses, and I think just even off the court, there's when we see each other go through struggles, building those close relationships, and then just from hanging out at the dorms when it was freshman year to the different roommates that you have at hotels for every single away trip, to team dinners, recruiting visits. I don't know, it's all fun, and I'm going to miss all those little things.
What is it about nursing school that grabs you?
Nursing school and nursing in general is a very mobile occupation. You can go anywhere with it. You can work, you can not work, you can keep up your license. Just the flexibility of it really stood out to me, and my sister was a nurse, so might just be following her as well.
When you look back on these past 4 years, is there any memory that sticks out more than anything? I mean, certainly there was a lot of memories.
Yes. This might just be the basic answer, but last year, that run that we had to the Final Four it was such a joy for me to be able to see the 5 starters last year that we had for those 3 years. To see those 5 starters do that and accomplish that, and the whole team too, but to see their growth over 3 years and then see them accomplish that, that was very special for me.
Given all those good memories, and I'm sure some really hard moments too, talk about how tough it is to arrive at a decision like this. Just kind of, I'm sure it's something that's been weighing on you for a while. Kind of talk
Yeah.
about just how tough that is.
Yeah, and I think every girl on our team is facing that decision every year. I don't know. I think every college athlete is probably facing what the decision process that I went through. Yeah, it was very difficult and not easy by any means. And like I said, I went to other people to like talk with them and process with them, but in the end it was a decision that I had to make for myself, and what was best for me. And if I am a little bit proud of myself for like being able to process and make that decision. But yeah, it's a very difficult decision, and yeah, I think all college athletes are trying to balance this is such an incredible opportunity to be a part of a team, and especially for us, the chemistry that we have here, balancing, I want that so much, but also this is hard at times, so.
I know you're still in the midst of everything and undergoing everything, but you kind of think about the last couple of years, and you're part of a team that has broken viewership records across the country. I mean, you're part of a team that has transcended the sport essentially and brought growth to women's basketball. I mean, how much pride do you take in that, and has it really even hit you that you've been a part of this crazy surge in women's athletics?
Oh, no, it's crazy to think about it, and, because we go to practice every day with this team, you don't think about it too much, but then once in a while it's like, wow, like I look on social media and I'm looking at all this stuff about the Iowa women's basketball team. I'm like, wait, I'm on that team. Like, this is kind of cool. I get to be a part of that. But yeah, it's to be coached by this coaching staff, their history here, and like I said, to be not only on this team, but on this team at this time for the past few years has been incredible.
What will you remember about your fellow seniors?
Everything that other people probably don't see, just their goofiness and how they've been there for me when I've needed it most. Those are things that other people and the people in the stands and not everybody gets to see. So those are the things that I'll remember most.
What has their support meant to you through your time here?
A lot. Like I said, when I came here, it was a big life transition, losing my mom. And so not only that happening, but then moving into a college dorm and not being around my family, and because of the busy schedule, not being able to go see my family at all. So this became my second family. And I relied on those people to be there to support me when I needed them. So it's meant the world.
So when you think back to that year, what would you tell 18-year-old Sharon Goodman?
Not take any of it for granted, for sure. It goes quick, but to just enjoy it all, and trust the Lord. And I think that's what I have been doing. So, yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you, everybody.
Kate Martin?
Okay, the last 4 years, we've asked Caitlin a lot of questions about awards she's won or been nominated for, and it's your turn now. National Player of the Year candidate, finalist. How's that feel to be honored with something like that your last year here at Iowa?
I guess it's just a cool recognition. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna win it. I'm gonna leave that up for my teammate. But I mean, I guess it's just cool to be recognized nationally. So. I felt really honored to be on that list. There's a lot of great players on that list. I actually haven't seen it, but somebody told me a couple people on there. So it's just a cool recognition, but yeah, I'll save that for Caitlin to win,
You joked about your eligibility, just the fact this is it. This is it we knew at the beginning of the season, but now that it's starting to wind down, how are those emotions that this is it?
Yeah, I don't even know how I feel really yet. I just have... I don't even know. I just have a lot of emotions overwhelming me right now. It's very bittersweet going into this weekend. I'm sad that my time is dwindling down, but I'm excited for the next chapter of my life. And I feel very grateful that I've had 6 years here. Like, I have really milked it. So I'm grateful for Coach Bluder to, allow me to stay for so long and giving me this opportunity. But yeah, it's very overwhelming with emotions right now, just because this is a big part of my life, the last 6 years here. So yeah, I'm a little nervous for the next chapter, but I'm also very excited.
Is next, right?
Yeah, I want to try continue playing, and then if that doesn't, pan out, I would love to coach.
What will you remember about the other seniors that are going to graduate?
Oh gosh, I mean, they all bring different things to the table. Every single one of them. I mean, I could go on and on about each and every one of them, but Molly, has brought a bunch of toughness, grit to this team since she's been here the last 2 years, and Sharon has brought, a shoulder to be able to cry on. She's brought toughness as well, and she just brings a smile and joy every single day to practice. And Gabbie and Caitlin are two of my very best friends, and I know I'll continue to make memories with them for the rest of our lives. And I just feel really grateful that I have friendships like that I've created over the last 6 years. And, that's what makes it so hard to let this chapter go, is all those memories that I've made with them and all the friendships that I have.
When you look back at the last 6 years, is there any one person that has maybe impacted you the most, or somebody that's been especially over this time that's really had a special impact on you?
I mean, every single teammate I've ever had has created an impact on my life. I can't just choose one, but I mean, Coach Bluder really has impacted my life ever since I was about this big, I guess. So I've always wanted to play for her, and the fact that I've gotten to do that for the last 6 years, I just feel extremely grateful for that. And I hope to be just like her one day in the coaching world, and she's just taught me so much, and so hopefully I can, be half as good of a coach as her one day.
Last year's senior day was kind of the same stuff, college game day, big game against the number 2 ranked team in the country. What's your excitement level for the senior day on Sunday with really the same type of game in the last game?
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. College game day coming, obviously that's super exciting. I think Bailey said 2 national networks, so that's pretty cool, just to bring another light on women's basketball. It's going to be probably one of the most watched games yet again, and I know ticket prices are extremely high, but I also have a lot of family coming in, so that's really exciting to be able to share that with them. But yeah, we lost at Ohio State earlier in this year, and we wanted to get another shot at them, and so I'm excited for Sunday, and excited to celebrate the rest of our seniors as well.
I know you were kind of back and forth about coming back for a 6th year, and Caitlin basically said she had to beg you to come back.
Yeah.
I guess now that you're kind of at this point, I mean, what's this season kind of been like for you, knowing that you don't have to make a decision, like this is going to be it actually?
Yeah, I mean, this was the best decision I ever could have made. It's coming back. I feel like I've had more fun playing this year than I ever have in my life. It's just been very free. I've been playing with a lot of freedom, and I've had a little bit of a different role this year, and it's been fun, and I think that's the fun thing about basketball is each year your role can change, and I've kind of stepped into that, of a little bit more of a scoring role this year, and that's been really exciting, and a different leadership role as well. Whenever you have younger players and then you're leaving, you kind of have to just, let other people lead. And it's been a really fun year, and I'm super glad I decided to come back. I'm glad Caitlin, kind of forced me to come back, and yeah, I don't know. It's just hard. Why would I ever want to leave this excitement? And it's just so fun right now. But I think it's perfect time for me to spread my wings and get out of here.
Did she ever give you that car?
No.
You said you're looking at playing basketball, after Iowa. Is that an opportunity that kind of arises with this season? I mean, like you said, you've taken a bigger scoring role this year. Is the season that you've had this year maybe giving you that opportunity to potentially keep playing? I
would say so, probably. I mean, I didn't get, nominated for a National Player of the Year award last year. So, yeah, I guess there's more attention on me a little bit this year. I don't know. So I guess that's kind of cool that I got to stay, and then, I'm getting this opportunity a little bit more this year than I would have if I left last year.
With all the intense spotlight on Caitlin, it doesn't seem like there's ever been a moment visible to us anyway, where anybody on the team was resentful or, I mean, it seemed like you always reveled in it. Why is that?
Well, we've said this before, but whenever Caitlin's light shines, it shines on all of us. And what Caitlin's doing individually, it's, impacting our entire team, our entire program, our entire state, the entire country. Like, that's really cool. And we want the best for Caitlin, and we've always had her best interest in mind. So we want her to get nominated for all the awards and win them all. Like, we truly, genuinely are very happy for her.
What was your reaction when you found out Sharon was going to be in senior day Sunday with you guys?
Yeah, kind of a little bittersweet. I'm really excited for her and her future, and that's a really tough decision to make when you've been here the last 4 years, and she's gone through an ACL, she's gone through so much, and she's graduating this spring, and I just know that she has a very bright future ahead of her. So I think it was the best decision for her, and she's a very intelligent person, so she wouldn't, make a decision without thinking about it for a long period of time. So I know that it's in her best interest, and so we're excited for her.
You talked about playing more freely this year, and yesterday when we talked to Jan about Caitlin's decision, she spoke about her playing more free against Minnesota kind of because of that decision that she made. What is it that's allowed you to play more freely this year? Is it knowing that it's your last year? Did that allow you to have that kind of freedom?
I think so. There's something about just like having a senior confidence where it's like, you make a mistake, you're probably not really going to get yelled at as much. And not like I got yelled at anyways. Coach Bluder's the best. Okay, so, but I'm just saying, like, whenever you're a senior, you kind of have been through the system for quite a few years. I can almost run our defense in my sleep at this point. I can run our offense in my sleep at this point. I've been around the system for so long. So, having to make decisions like offensively or defensively, it just is it's muscle memory to me at this point. So it allows me to focus on other things, and that's kind of nice, and it's allowed me to be more free.
What has it meant for you to be referred to as the glue of this team, and what advice would you give to other players who want to take on that role in the future?
Yeah, I've always thought that, word is kind of silly, but I think there's a lot of glue pieces on our team. It's not just me. Like, I've gotten the name The Glue, and I've just kind of ran with it. It's been cool, but for other people who want to be in this position in a leadership role like I am, I would just say, do anything you can to make your teammates' lives easier, even if it's just, a little pep talk, be super encouraging, vocal. That's kind of what I've tried to do. I haven't really ever worried about stats or anything like that. I've just worried about, how can I make somebody feel better in their day, or how can I help out my teammate, and that's kind of what I've learned in my 6 years.
What's something that you've learned?
What are the things that interest you the most about coaching, Kate?
I love the game of basketball. I'm really excited to see it from a different lens. But really, kind of what Coach Bluder's instilled in us is bringing up strong female leaders. That's what I want to do the same exact way as she's done for us. And so I'm really excited for that part of the game. And I've learned so much in my time here, and I can't wait to, be able to help people who have been in my position, when they're struggling or when things are going good. I've had so many great coaches in my life that have helped me and shaped me into who I am today, so I'm excited to be that for someone else.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
Questions for Gabby Marshall?
What's Sunday going to be like for you?
I think it's going to be a pretty bittersweet moment. Just thinking about all the success that I've gotten to be a part of throughout my 5 years here, and just the different girls that I've came in contact with, and just thinking about all the memories that we've made with each other, but also knowing that it had to come to an end at some point. I'm out of eligibility now, so but I don't know. I'm just going to soak it all in. All my family will be there, so it's just going to be a fun day, but also a little sad.
This is kind of like the beginning of the last chapter of this group of Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball players. What emotions are you feeling going into like this last swing of the season? Are you sentimental? Are you nostalgic? What's it like?
I would say pretty sentimental. Just, it was the same starters for 3 years, and just thinking about all that we accomplished and just how close I am with them. I think the the thing I'll miss the most is just being around them every day, and thinking that that's going to come to an end is just kind of sad. But just knowing that we've been able to do so much together, and I've just been a part of such an amazing program my last 5 years.
You made the decision to come back for one more year. Now that you're at this point, the season's come to the end. Do you feel like you made the right decision to come back for another year?
For sure. I don't think I could have passed up on another opportunity to play here and be surrounded by these coaches and these girls every single day.
What are you going to remember about your fellow seniors?
The memories that we've made off the court far exceed the memories that we made on the court, which is surprising because we've done so much together. But, we hang out all the time, and just thinking back on everything that we've done together, just that, really.
You mentioned schools in your future. Have you landed it? Are we still waiting for some options?
Yeah, I'm going to go to UNC to get my master's of OT. Excited for a little warm weather and just kind of a fresh start, I've only been there one time, and I don't have any family there, so it's just going to be something new, and I'm excited for that.
I know you're still in the midst of everything, but the way you've been a part of a team that's transcended women's basketball, brought so much attention, what you guys have accomplished, do you ever take a moment to sit back and understand that you're a part of this big surge in movement in women's athletics, or is it still kind of I just go to practice every day and then I go play games?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think last year for sure, after the Final Four was over and we got to kind of get the couple weeks off, it was kind of wow, I got to really soak in and think about what we just did as a group, and just, the amount of fans that we had at our games, the amount of Hawk fans that came and supported us all the way in Dallas, all the way in Seattle. It's just amazing to see people wanting to watch women's basketball, people wanting to watch our team, how much joy people said that we brought to them, and how we kind of brought the community together. It's amazing feeling hearing that from fans, and it's just going to continue to grow.
How do you keep that attention from getting exhausting? How do you just keep doing enjoying it, I guess?
Yeah, I would say during season we do a pretty good job of kind of letting the outside noise be outside noise, and there's not enough time really. We're going from game to game. We have to really focus on the game plan for the next game and focus on each other and getting better together. It's really, during the season, our focus is on winning at the next game and the next game. And the outside noise, they don't know what we do every day together in practice, and so that kind of doesn't really mean much during the season. There's just not enough time and energy to give that more energy than what we're trying to do on the court.
When you showed up here as an 18-year-old freshman, did you think they'd be making T-shirts with what other coaches say about you, TDI, Snipe? Did you envision any of that?
I did not. You dream of playing college basketball. You dream of being at a school like this and accomplishing what we have. But no, I did not think I would ever have T-shirts with my name on it, and seeing a lot of fans wearing them. It's awesome, seeing my family in my shirts and just a bunch of little kids. I don't know, it's a great feeling being that role model for kids.
Gabby, what does it mean for you when you see these kids, girls and boys that are wearing Iowa Hawkeye gear, and they are excited to come to the games, and they're excited to see you succeed? What does that mean for you in terms of this, in terms of the future of this program?
Yeah, I think we all try to be great role models. Coach Bluder always says that there's so many eyes on us, and there's so many little boys and girls that are looking up to us and that we inspire every single day. And I think it's just really important to represent this school and this program as well as we can, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that. We always make a point to kind of interact with the little kids, and one interaction can change their whole day or change their whole week or their year. So I think it's important to be that great role model on and off the court for them.
You mentioned that she just feels like she's playing a lot more free, considering she doesn't have a decision to make. Is that kind of how you're approaching this last however many games you guys have left? Just kind of leave it all out there. You don't have a decision to make. You know what your future looks like.
Yeah, for sure. I think deciding on where I'm going to be next kind of took a lot of pressure off. but just soaking in every moment on and off the court. There's only, hopefully, a lot of games left, but, just kind of soaking in my last games playing basketball of my whole life, so.
If you've talked about this before, please forgive me, but what is it you want to do in life? Do you have a clearly defined idea?
Like my next steps.
Yes.
I will be going to UNC to get my Master's of Occupational Therapy.
And where do you want that to take you, or do you know yet?
I'm not sure exactly. I'd like to go into pediatrics, working with little kids. I've always been told I work well with kids, and I have 2 younger siblings of my own, which I love and adore. So, I mean, that's always been kind of my dream.
What do you think you'll miss most about the game? This basketball game?
I'd say just the opportunities that I've been given through playing sports my whole life, honestly, but just the relationships that I've built here, and I don't know, just the competitiveness, just the routine, like everything about just playing basketball. But I've been able to accomplish a lot throughout my career, so just being able to look back on that and remember those things.
What was your reaction when you found out that Sharon was going to be part of the senior class with you?
Yeah, I think, she made the best decision for herself, and that's really, at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself. We were all supportive of her, and, I mean, she's given so much to this program, and I'm happy for her and what's next for her, so, yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry, Gabby.
Thanks, Gabby.
Thanks, Gabby.
Questions for Caitlin?
Well, I think a lot of folks were wondering, after you talked a lot about waiting until the season was over to make the decision, they were wondering why you decided that right now was the right time to announce.
I think just going into senior night, having that decision clear, not only for myself, but our fans, my teammates, I think that was super important. And honestly, just, getting the weight of the world off my shoulders and being able to enjoy this last month with my teammates, I think is the biggest thing. And, I think I kind of knew in my heart. So being able to kind of get that off my shoulders was the biggest thing. And yeah, I think it's just important going into this final stretch, whether it's, our last home game and then obviously probably hosting 2 home games at home. I think just really enjoying that and soaking that in is my biggest focus.
You put on a good poker face this year anytime anyone asked you about the future, but I mean, how long would you say that you've known this was going to be the move?
Honestly, I would say, I've gone honestly back and forth a little bit, especially early in the year, and I think, as the season kind of played out, it became more clear to me, and I know I said at the beginning of the year, I will definitely just kind of feel in my gut and know in my gut, and I think that's exactly what happened. I kind of knew what was going to be the right step for me, and obviously I had a lot of support system around me, my family, my friends, and talked to them, and I think everybody supported my decision, and that's obviously reassuring. And but I think that was the biggest thing, honestly, was just I felt it in my gut, and obviously you weigh the pros and cons of both sides, and obviously there's pros and cons both ways, but I think I just kind of knew in my heart, and that kind of goes back to my whole recruiting process too, is I knew in my heart I had to be here, and I think I knew in my heart here is what we've been able to do is so special, and obviously that's not over, but I think I'm ready for the next kind of chapter in my life too.
Okay, well, as part of the reason you...
I know that you don't probably want to talk about WNBA right now. I just want to ask one question, which is if people from the Fever had contacted you since this announcement was made.
No.
Caitlin, I know was part of the reason you put out the announcement before senior day, so people could pay attention to Gabby, Kate, Sharon, and Molly,
Absolutely.
just so it's not they don't hear one more year chances you're being honored.
Absolutely, I think that's super important because those other seniors have given so much to this program, been some of my best friends and people that they need to be celebrated the same way that I will be. And, I think that's really special. I didn't want that day to be something all about, is Caitlin going to stay? Is she going to go? I want it to just be a celebration of what we've been able to give to this program, what we've been able to do. But even for ourselves and our team, being able to have some clarity and enjoy that day with each other, and especially Kate and Gab, people that I've started every single game with. They've been 2 of my best friends, 2 people that have had my back since the day I stepped on campus. So they deserve that day just as much as anybody ever has. So
When you made the announcement, a lot of us were over covering the state tournament yesterday, and Jane Jensen was over there. We had a chance to talk with her after you made the announcement. she spoke about you playing a lot more freely during the Minnesota game, maybe because you had that weight off of your back. Did you feel that too, that Minnesota game felt a little differently for you? And do you feel like these next possibly 10 games are going to feel that same way?
Yeah, I think for sure. I think anytime you make a big decision and you're confident in it, that's just kind of what happens. And I think that's my biggest focus going into the rest of the year is just smile, have fun, play free. You know, after, you know, this game this weekend, we're really only guaranteed 2 games. So I think just enjoying every single second and playing and having fun. There's no reason to be tense because these moments go so fast. And I think that's just the biggest thing for myself is just smile, have fun. And that's really when I play my best basketball. So I'm excited.
Speaking of that decision to leave early, we heard that this is going to be Sharon's senior day too.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to when you found out she was going to be part of senior day with you, and what's it been like to have her as a teammate, especially this season?
Yeah, I knew Sharon was kind of debating which way she was going to go, and I think the biggest thing is we support her no matter what. Sharon obviously is somebody that came in with me and somebody I always had around, somebody that always had my back. And I think the thing about Sharon is she's one of the best teammates I've ever had. As long as I've played sports, whether it's soccer, basketball, whatever, she's just always there for people. She really cares about people. She loves people. She's one of the purest souls I've ever been around. And I know she's going to make a really, really great nurse. If any of you know her, you know Sharon, like that's the perfect job for her. So I know she took a lot of time to think about this and it was really hard for her. But I'm excited. I think, you know, she's come to terms with the decision and she's excited. And to be able to celebrate her too. She's given a lot to this program and obviously been through a lot in her life. And, you know, I'm just really proud of her.
When did you finally make the decision? What was the?
I think I've known for a little while, honestly, and I've had quite a few conversations with our coaching staff, and they were always very supportive and helping me, you know, try to understand both sides and see both sides. And I think especially over the last couple of weeks, my decision has become more clear. I would say, yeah.
As you weighed the pros and the cons, what were those pros that ultimately led you to your decision?
Yeah, I think it's hard because there's pros and cons both ways. I think just, you know, being excited about starting something new and starting a new chapter. Obviously, my focus is here. You know, my goal is to win a national title. That's plain and simple. That's what I want to do. And to be honest, I'm not really looking, you know, that far ahead to the WNBA and what's going to happen when. Is all that will get panned out whenever, you know, our season ends, and hopefully, you know, that's with a national title. So I think that's my main focus, and I think that having this decision done is going to allow me to play my best basketball, and that's honestly was my main priority, and I think that's what led me to announce it when I did.
How much pressure has been on you with this decision weighing on you and kind of been the center of attention this whole season?
Yeah, I think there's always going to be that pressure whether I was making this decision or not, and it's something that I kind of embrace. Like, I'm very lucky to be in this position and for people to be so invested in what I'm going to do and a fan base that cares so much about it. And obviously I'm very thankful for the support. I know a lot of Iowa fans may be a little bit sad, but for the most part it seems like everybody is just very appreciative of what we've been able to do over my 4 years. And that means the world to me. And hopefully, you know, we can go out the right way and really just keep winning basketball games. And I feel like we're playing really well right now. So I think that's the biggest thing.
You're approaching another record.
Yeah.
Senior day,
Yeah.
Sunday. I mean, have you thought about just everything that's going into Sunday and the emotions that you're feeling? Are we going to see emotions again?
Honestly, yeah, I would say so. And you know, it's bittersweet. Like, I'm lucky that we do senior day after the game's over. I think that's very important. But like, my main goal is beating Ohio State. Like, I think we're all just super excited for another opportunity at them. And you know, we were up 10 points in the fourth quarter, and then we kind of, you know, fumbled it a little bit. So I think it's a great opportunity for our team. And honestly, it's a great opportunity for us to build momentum going into the Big Ten tournament. It feels eerily similar to last year in a way, and I think we can use that to our advantage. But yeah, I think there will definitely be emotions. I'll have a lot of family and friends in attendance, and you know, hopefully it's not our last game in Carver. We're able to host the NCAA tournament, but you know, we definitely want to end our regular season the right way. So I think that's our main focus.
It seems like your teammates, never begrudged you a moment of all the attention you've gotten, and that might not be the case on every team. What can you tell us about your teammates dealing with this?
Oh gosh, well I could talk about them for forever. I think, their support has just been everything. Like, obviously the light shines really bright on me, but then it does on everybody else, and that puts a lot of pressure on them too. So, they never shied away from the moment. They always had my back. They've always been very supportive of myself, and, I think that just speaks to the culture Coach Bluder's built here is, it's not just one person. Every single person has a voice. Every single person is valued, whether you come off the bench, whether you start the game, whether you don't get in. That's what it's always been, even before I got here. And I think that's what's led to us having so much success is that's just the way it is. Nobody gets jealous. You're just happy and you celebrate one another. And I think that's what's, really allowed us to be so great, whether it was Megan, whether it was Monica, whether it was Kathleen, whether it was myself, whether it was Kate Martin. You just celebrate one another, and you just really want the best for your teammates because more than anything, you care about them as people more than you do as a basketball player. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Something going on?
It's up to you.
Yeah, right. I know better than that. Oh. All right. Well, obviously, recognizing the 5 seniors that we're going to have after the game will be special. But we really need to focus that after the game because we need full effort and focus on this Ohio State team that's already clinched the Big Ten title. Ohio State hasn't lost since the first game of the Big Ten season. I think they've run off, 16 straight wins. And so they've done a great job. Obviously, J.C. Sheldon is so spectacular at point guard. She's really hard to guard, shoots the three really well. She's quick. Fifth-year senior, just does a really good job. When they got Celeste Taylor, that made a difference on their team too. She was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, and transferring in as a grad student, she has done a tremendous job helping them not only with their defense but lately with their offense as well. Early in the year, she wasn't really looking for a shot, but now she is. Cody McMahon gave us fits at their place. She drew 10 fouls. She's just a hard person to guard because she's so strong. She's got a quick spin move, down low, and then, of course, 6'4" center doesn't hurt either. So, obviously, a tremendous basketball team that we have coming in.
You guys were winning for you felt pretty comfortable for about 32 minutes there, and then it was the last, 8 or so minutes, and then overtime. What do you feel like you guys need to do better in this matchup to make sure that it's a full 40 minutes?
Yeah, Cody McMahon really just took it at us in the end, especially in the overtime, and just kept getting three-point plays. And so we have to do a better job of guarding her for sure. And I'm really, I thought we did a good job with their press, which is something they really hang their hat on. I believe we only had 15 turnovers against them, which isn't bad, a team that likes to press and force over 20 turnovers. So I thought we did a pretty good job on that. Boxing out was a little bit of an issue for us. We need to make sure that we box them out because they are, bigger, stronger, faster than we are. So fundamentally, we have to be as sound as we can be.
What have you guys, maybe not your game plan, but, you mentioned Cody McMahon. Do you guys have any, adjustments that you're making? Is there anything that you can share about what you want to do on Sunday to maybe limit her?
Yes, but I'm not going to share it.
Coach, what did you make of the timing of Caitlin's decision to do it this week?
I'm happy for her that she made it, before senior day, instead of going through that and having everybody wonder what's going to happen. So I thought it was good.
What was your reaction when she told you she'd come to the office and you guys sit down? What was that conversation like?
Well, you're obviously disappointed because you want her to come back, right? She's a tremendous player, and we would have loved to have her come back. But also, our job is to have them for 4 years and to support them as best as we can and try to prepare them for the next chapter in their lives. And, her 4 years is up. Even though she could come back for another year, she's ready for a new challenge.
Lisa, part of the coaching aspect is just not on the court, but it's off the court, helping them, become the young women role models and leaders. Sharon Goodman, obviously, is a unique story with her mother passing away for college. She got pretty emotional here talking about her journey. I guess, how much pride do you take in the way she's grown? How much pride do you take as just a coaching staff and a culture here to try to uplift those women and get them through that adversity?
Yeah, that's an important part of our job, in my opinion. Yes, we're paid to win games, and we keep our jobs because we win games. And, get fans because we win games, but my personal mission statement is to use the sport of basketball to create the next generation of female leaders. That's what I want to do, and that's what gets me excited. And, you know, I think that we've done that with all 5 of these seniors.
Did you try talking Sharon out, or try to talk her into coming back?
We showed her the pros and cons, you know, and that's what we have to do. You know, again, Sharon's wants to pursue nursing. It's not a feasibility for, you know, a nursing student to do college basketball. So, I understand. I understand that people are ready for the next chapter of their lives after 4 years of college.
What will you remember about this senior bunch?
Oh, man. I mean, a lot of great things. I mean, obviously, you know, they just took us, you know, to the Final Four, took us to the championship game. You know, our fan support has been just tremendous. And so, you know, this group has been really special. And, you know, and I really, for Kate and Gabbie, you know, those two came back for a 6th and 5th year. And to me, that was really special for those two to commit to that. And then for Molly Davis to come here from Central Michigan, not be guaranteed anything. No starting position, no amount of playing time. Come here, accept her role, do whatever it takes for us to be better. That took a lot of courage too. So I think that, you know, I really admire those guys.
Did you have to do anything that maybe you've never had to do as a coach when it comes to all the attention that Caitlin's got, and like nothing else, to keep the other players, you know, feeling like they really mattered?
Yeah. Mike, I think that's something that we've done since before Caitlin got here. I think that culture was established before she got here, and I think that made it a lot easier to handle it. One of our values is everyone matters, and we try to live that every single day by the way we treat our athletes, by the amount of respect we give them, the time we give them, you know, just even by the things we do, like celebrating the assist over the basket. You know, that's what we try to do every day in practice. And so I think since we had that culture already established here, it really helped when you have a megastar like Caitlin come in.
This game on Sunday is pretty much a carbon copy to last year with Indiana. You know, College game days coming, a team that's already wrapped up the crown, but a team that you lost to early in the year. Does that experience of having to deal with all the extra around the game with College game day, sold out crowd, does that last year's, you know, regular season finale just kind of prepare you for what's coming on Sunday?
Yes, there is a lot extra going on in this game with game day, with recruits, with senior ceremony, and 5, you know, seniors going through this. There's a lot extra going on, and I worry about that because it can take your energy and your focus away from the game. And this game, in my opinion, is very important. This game, you know, tells whether we're a 2 seed or a 3 seed for the NCAA tournament. This game also helps us with the NCAA selection committee seed. So I think it's a, you know, extremely important game, even though, yes, Ohio State already has this wrapped up. You know, I do think that every game this year has almost prepared us for the NCAA tournament. I feel like almost every game that we've played in has had extra emotion, extra attention, extra fans, extra screeching. So, you know, to me, we are prepared for the NCAA tournament because we've played in that kind of environment almost every single night.
What's the team's motivation level for getting another shot at Ohio State?
I haven't seen them since after our Minnesota game yet. We had yesterday off, and so I'll see them after this. But, you know, it's just, to me, it's yes, Ohio State. We want to redeem that loss. But it's also, you know, it is our senior day. We want to send those guys out with a win. We want to help our fans enjoy this experience on their home court. And we would love to go undefeated in Big Ten play on our home court. So there's a lot of reasons.
A lot of us were over in Des Moines yesterday when the announcement was made covering a Solon High School game. Jan and your son were there watching the game, actually. So we had a chance to visit with Jan, and she spoke maybe 4 or 5 times about how freely she saw Caitlin play against Minnesota, maybe because that announcement was off of her shoulders, outside of her head. Did you see that out of her, too? See a difference in her level of play, and does that give you confidence for next possibly 10 games what you might see out of her?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she has played with a little bit more enjoyment and ease, you know, after she made her decision. You know, everybody was worried about, like, the record, like, oh, she's, you know, stressed out about the record. she was never stressed out about the record. She was stressed out about making this decision. And that was, she knew she was going to get that record. Everybody knew she was going to have that record. So, no, she was never worried about that.
Coach, how crucial is that everyone matters philosophy to the success that this team's been able to achieve?
It's a huge point of everything that we do. Everyone matters is so important to the enjoyment the rest of the team gets out of being an Iowa Hawkeye, to know that they matter regardless of their role, regardless of how many points they score, that they're an important aspect to this team. So it's a big part of everything that we do. It's one of our value statements.
You were an AIAW athlete yourself, I believe, and playing more or less at the same time as Lynette Woodard.
Don't look for me in the record books, though, okay? Just save you all the trouble.
What's your recollection of her as one of those formative star athletes in women's basketball at that time? Like, what was your perspective of it as a player? And then sort of how does it compare to how Caitlin is treated now?
Yeah. Back then there wasn't a lot of women's basketball on TV. And so you didn't get to see Lynette Woodard play very often. So it was more like you heard about her scoring all these points, but also then she was an Olympian. And so you got to see her in the Olympics. And then you get to see her as a Harlem Globetrotter. So it was more even that stuff rather than her Kansas career that I particularly remember. But as a coach at St. Ambrose, my camp packet, I always used her on the front of my camp packet because my playbook and everything, she was the person that was on the cover of that. I wish I still had one. I probably do somewhere.
So we were talking to Kate, and she mentioned that, she's known you since she was about yay high, said she's always wanted to play for you. She wants to play basketball professionally, then get into coaching. But when she got into her coaching aspect, she said, I just want to be like Lisa Bluder. I want to be half the coach she is, and she wants to develop young women the same way that you helped develop her and countless others. I guess, as a coach now, looking back at that, was that just sort of mean to you, knowing that you've had that impact on them?
It's huge. I mean, that means a lot to me for her to say that, I think Kate's going to be such a good coach, and she's such a great young woman, and she embraces our values like no other, and is she's a special kid. I'd love to have her on my staff.
Have you had any other players that you can think of that you've had a relationship with as long as you've known Kate since she was that small? Anybody else that comes to mind?
No, because I think, Johanna Solverson was a 6-year athlete here. Kate's definitely, the newest one. I mean, I've had great relationships with a lot of our kids, but they just haven't been around as long, and I haven't known them as long. I literally have known Kate since she was about 5 years old.
Coach, I'm sure you try to keep emotions out of it, but with this kind of being the beginning of the end for this core group, are you starting to get a little sentimental, nostalgic? What kind of emotions are you feeling here down the stretch?
Yeah, you can't help it, right? I mean, you just can't help but, get a little sentimental anytime you have a senior class graduate. But this senior class has been pretty successful and pretty enjoyable to coach. And so I think you'd have to be stone cold not to have, some kind of emotion about it. But the focus has got to be on each and every game and the next game and the next game. And you can't be thinking, oh, if we lose this game, we're done and I'll never coach these guys. You can't think like that. And so I think even after last year, when we lost in the championship game, I hadn't let my mind go there. And I think that's why I was pretty emotional after the game, is because then that's when it all hit me.
Thanks, Coach Bluder.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.